I would be hard-pressed to point to a game as soul-crushingly generic as Bound by Flame. Believe it or not, that's not the game's biggest problem. This game's early glimpses of depth are merely pretend. What reveals itself underneath is one of the most shallow RPGs I've ever played. In Bound by Flame, you play the part of a mercenary codenamed Vulcan. Vulcan lives in a bleak world where an undead army has wiped out most of the population. When a summoning ritual goes wrong, he's possessed by a flame demon. It's all pretty goofy fantasy stuff that I've heard a million times before, but the game tries to set itself apart by being adult, which in this case means swear words. Lots of swear words. Even in its darkest moments, it was impossible for me to take Bound by Flame seriously. The characters are nothing more than paper-thin sketches, and they constantly make stupid, short-sighted decisions. None of the plot movement feels motivated by intelligent, developed figures. It all just exists to take you from one set piece to the next. Just in case I was at any risk of taking the game seriously, the evil ice lords who serve as the villains are each named with an ice-based pun. One of them is called the Chiller. Characters repeat that with a much straighter face than I'm able to. I could have put up with the bad writing if the combat had enough depth to pull me in. It doesn't. Vulcan is able to swap between 3 different combat styles: a 2-handed sword, dual-wielded daggers, and flame magic. Switching on the fly seems like a nice additional layer of strategy at first, but none of the options are very useful. Sword combat is too slow and clumsy, while daggers are too fast to keep track of with the game's bad camera. Vulcan's hit points and mana don't increase much throughout the game, which makes dodging or blocking a necessity. Most of the combat encounters break down into a simple rhythm: attack, attack, dodge, repeat. The simplicity of this repetition frustrated me, especially late in the game, and I never found myself wrestling with interesting tactical decisions. All of the game's challenge comes from tapping the same 2 buttons over and over. I tried my hardest to care about Bound by Flame, but the game didn't seem to care back. With the plot that never goes anywhere, and combat that never evolves beyond its simplistic beginning, there was nothing good for me to latch on to.